Good afternoon and welcome to our afternoon Money Making Mom Scope. This afternoon we're going to be talking about finding a personal work-life balance. If you've ever struggled with how do you do it all and how do you do it well and how do you have a healthy balance in the middle of working and life and taking care of yourself and taking care of your business and taking care of your family, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Welcome! I'm late, I know, and I'm working on being on time, but I was going to tell you this morning, I started to say, I realized in my replay, when I watched the replay, I said around 3 o'clock because I was going to tell you that I had a really important meeting this afternoon that I couldn't miss and that couldn't be scheduled at any different time, and I forgot to tell you that. So I'm here, late, but here. My speaking engagement this morning, for those of you who missed, this morning I had a speaking engagement in this area and it went well. It was a really small one and I kind of actually really enjoy those because it's fun to get to talk to all the attendees. And then someone from the Nashville Business Journal was also there watching my speaking engagement and then had an interview with me at the end. So that was kind of fun. I've never been interviewed by a business journal before. With Wania, welcome. So glad to have you here. For those of you who may be thinking of, is it possible to have a work-life balance? Is it really possible to find a way to have a healthy balance? Well, I'm a work in progress, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. I don't want you to think that I have it all figured out, because I don't. But I want to share some tactics, some techniques, and some suggestions that have helped me. And I also want to encourage you, if you haven't checked out MoneyMakingMomBook.com, MoneyMakingMomBook.com is where you can find out more about my new book, Money Making Mom. And you can also sign up for my free 5-day course on how to make a full-time income from home. It's really how I make a full-time income from home, and it's 5 keys for success. So if you want to know more about the insight, kind of the inside story of my business, you just pre-ordered. You both, thank you so much. Yay! Be sure to go to Money Making Mom Book, MoneyMakingMomBook.com, where you can find out about the really cool bonuses that you can get for free when you pre-order. Thank you so much. And when you pre-order, I've mentioned this, but when you pre-order, it really helps us out because it tells Amazon that people are going to want to buy this book. Amazon does not stock very many copies of new books unless a lot of people pre-order. So we're trying to encourage them to want to have a lot in stock because we know that launch week, a lot of people will buy. The problem is that Amazon will not have any in stock, and then it will say out of stock on Amazon. You've probably seen this happen before with books. So that's why we're challenging and encouraging people to go ahead and pre-order before you forget, because not only do you get the amazing bonuses, my Make Over Your Calendar course, get that for free. You also get my tool sheet where I talk about my productivity tools that are my favorites, and you also get an invitation to an exclusive call with me where I will be sharing some things that only people who pre-order will get to know. So go to MoneyMakingMomBook.com, MoneyMakingMomBook.com for more details on this book, and also to sign up for my free 5-day course on how I make a full-time income from home. If you are new here, my name is Crystal Payne. I'm the founder of MoneySavingMom.com, as well as the New York Times bestselling author of the book Say Goodbye to Survival Mode. And since we're talking about work-life balance, I thought I might mention this. Say Goodbye to Survival Mode is my last book that I just did. That came out in January of 2014. I didn't just do it, but it kind of feels like it. Someone asked, how do you order Money Making Mom if you're in Europe? There's a site called Book Depository. BookDepository.com. They have free shipping worldwide. The price is a little bit more than what you would pay if you ordered off of Amazon, but it's free shipping worldwide. So if you are international, please go to Book Depository to order. That's the best place to pre-order, BookDepository.com. So I'm the New York Times bestselling author of the book Say Goodbye to Survival Mode. This came out in January of 2014. This is 9 simple strategies to stress less, sleep more, and restore your passion for life. You have that tip. Thanks so much. So I'm also the creator of the 14-day online course, Make Over Your Mornings. That's at makeoveryourmornings.com. And that is a course really to help women start their day with intention. So I'm giving you practical step-by-step help to start your day with intention. Today we're going to be talking about how to find a healthy work-life balance. So that's kind of my business bio. I want to tell you about my personal bio, and that is that I'm married to Jesse. We've been married for 12 and a half years. We have 3 kids. Catherine is 10, Caitlin is 8, and Silas is 6. We live in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and we homeschool our kids. And we co-homeschool because we're self-employed entrepreneurs. So my husband helps with the homeschooling. I'm so blessed. And I homeschool in the morning, he homeschools in the afternoon. So that's a little bit about us. So what is this whole work-life balance about? Is it even possible? Well, yes, I think it is possible. But I think if you're going to have a healthy work-life balance, you need to change your definition of balance. Balance is not that everything is in perfect order all the time and never out of order. Balance is that when you look at your year as a whole, you have invested significant amount of time into all areas that are your priorities. So it's not all lopsided when you look at a year, when you look at a month, when you look at a week, same thing, that it's not all lopsided. That there is a healthy balance in that you're investing in each area of your life a significant amount of time. It's not going to be perfect order and perfect all the time. But significant time invested in all of your priorities is what healthy balance is. This question that I'm going to address today, I'm not sure who it was from. If it was from you, leave a comment and let me know that it was from you because I didn't write a name. But the question was, what do you do as a means to step back from the business aspect? What does work, life, and personal balance look like? It's a great question. I think it's one that we all struggle with, and it's something that I've struggled with. And as I've talked about on my scopes, I don't have it all figured out. I've struggled with it. But I want to share with you 5 strategies that have helped me to have a good work-life balance most of the time. Number 1, surround yourself with people who ground you. Surround yourself with people who ground you. People who will help you remember what is important. People who will not let you fall off the deep end because you're chasing after things that aren't a priority for you at this season of your life. So surround yourself with people who will ground you. For me, one of the groups of people that ground me is our Monday group. On Monday evenings, we have a group of 5 families that we get together every Monday evening and we just hang out. And most of them are not bloggers, they're not on social media much, and they don't really know much about online marketing and about making money online. But I love it because they ground me. Some days on a Monday when I'm feeling completely overwhelmed and I'm stressed, and honestly I don't want to go to Monday group because I feel like I just need to stay home and work. But that's not what I need to do. I need to go to Monday group because I need to be pulled outside of the business and the demands of that. And I need to remember what matters. And I need to spend time with people who will make me laugh. Spend time with people who just love me for who I am. People who could care less how many Twitter followers I have or Instagram followers I have or how many people are reading my blog. They just love me for me. So number 1, surround yourself with people who ground you. Number 2, get enough sleep. Get enough sleep. This is going to make a huge difference. When you don't get enough sleep, it affects every area of your life. So if you have to go to bed early, go to bed early. Even if you feel like you have so much to do. Sometimes just sleeping on it, when you wake up in the morning, you'll feel so much less stressed. So make time to get enough sleep. I love to use the Sleep Cycle app. I've talked about that before. The Sleep Cycle app helps me to be woken up at the time when it's most optimum for me to wake up. So the Sleep Cycle app, you can set it for a 30-minute time period of when it will go off. The alarm will go off. Not only does it wake you up gently, but it wakes you up when your body is in the best level of sleep to cause you to wake up feeling refreshed. So that's the Sleep Cycle app. Sometimes I have had to just give myself permission to take a nap. Give myself permission to sleep in. Because I know that if I don't take time for myself, if I don't invest in sleeping and I try to burn the candle at both ends, I'm just going to end up exhausted. Burning the candle at both ends doesn't make you superwoman. It just makes you exhausted. So number 1, surround yourself with people who ground you. Number 2, get enough sleep. Number 3, take time for you. Give yourself permission to take time for you. I'm an introvert. We've talked about that, the difference between introverts and extroverts, and I need quiet. And for a long time, I felt like, what is wrong with me? Because after about 3 or 4 hours, I just want to be quiet. I don't want to be around people anymore. I just want to go and have some quiet. And I felt like something is wrong with me. Something is wrong with me that I don't just love people more, but I love people. I just sometimes need a break from them. So giving myself that grace to have quiet. Today, this morning, I was speaking. I went to see my friend Michelle because she's in town. We saw her for a few minutes, and then I went and I spoke, and then I had an interview with the Nashville Business Journal, as I mentioned, and then I had this important meeting with a group of people. And now I'm periscoping. And so guess what? Tonight, I am going to just be an introvert. I know myself well enough to know that I can't plan anything tonight because I just need to be with my family. I just need to be home. It just needs to be quiet. So I allow time in my schedule for me to be an introvert. Taking time for me, giving myself permission, that helps me to have a healthier work-life balance. I also take Sundays off. I've talked about this before. I take Sundays off. So I don't blog on Sundays, and sometimes I leave the computer completely off because I need to have a day, 1 day in 7, where there are not all these demands swirling around and all these things vying for my time. I might even leave the dishes in the sink. I will leave the laundry on the couch, and I will just take the day off. When you do that, you're going to be better in all spheres of your life. Ask yourself, what drains me versus what replenishes me? Make sure that you're taking time to not only replenish yourself, but that you're making it a priority. Because if all you do is stuff that's just draining, no wonder you're going to feel burnt out. You have to replenish the supply. As women, we pour and 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 we pour. And if we don't ever pour back into ourselves, we're going to feel exhausted. So number 1, surround yourself with people who ground you. Number 2, get enough sleep. Number 3, take time for you. Number 4, outsource as much as possible. Sometimes this is not possible. If you are in the early stages of starting a business, you're probably not going to have the funds to be able to outsource much. But maybe you could have a babysitter come in for 2 hours a week. Some young girl who you stay at your house and just work in your office. And it's not going to be very expensive, but it will buy you those 2 hours. Or maybe grandma comes over once a week. Or your husband will take over the bedtime duties and send you to Starbucks. Figure out a way to make some time to be able to invest in your business, because if you don't, you will feel run over for dead. But then as your business grows, you've got to outsource. I remember my very first hire. It was so hard for me to bring myself to hire somebody because it felt so extravagant. But it was a graphic designer, and I knew that I had no graphic design skills. I do not have graphic design skills. And I knew that I didn't. So finally I decided to hire Joy from 5J's Design. And here's the thing I discovered. She can do in 15 minutes what it takes me 4 hours to do. So it's a no-brainer for me to pay her for 15 minutes of work to save me 4 hours. So sometimes you might feel like, I can't afford to hire somebody. Well, could you afford for somebody to do a small project for you? There are sites like 5RR, I think that's the site, and 99 Designs. that you can get really inexpensive people to help you out with projects. Maybe you need something designed. Maybe you need a plugin on your sidebar. Maybe you need a simple, some simple thing done. So it doesn't have to cost you an arm and leg. Start small, but outsource as soon as you possibly can. Outsource a little bit. And then as you can outsource more, outsource a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. This will buy you time so that you can take time to read a book, to take time off, to invest in yourself. And you're going to be a better business owner by doing that. When I stopped trying to do it all and I hired people to help me slowly, very slowly, I built my team much slower than a lot of people would, because I'm a big advocate of the business growing way ahead of your expenses. So let the business grow ahead of your expenses and start really small and gradually increase. But when I did that, I discovered that we were making so much more money because I was able to spend my time on the things that brought in income and let other people focus on the things that were just draining me. So outsource as much as possible. Number 5, unplug regularly. Unplug regularly. I've talked about how I take Sundays off. Another thing that I've just recently done is that I took email, my main email account, off of my phone so that I'm not distracted by my phone when I'm out. I also just this week started making a commitment to not check my email until after 12:30 p.m. That's a really big deal for me because you have to understand that for 10 years of running a business, email was kind of the first thing that I would do every single morning. And it took me a little while, honestly, to figure out, okay, what do I do? What's the first thing that I should do? Because 10 years of living a certain way, it's hard to change those habits. But I discovered that my brain is so much calmer. My brain is so much calmer because I'm not getting up and instantly checking my email on my phone because it's not on my phone, and then I'm not allowing myself to check my email on my computer until 12:30. So then I'm not distracted by all that. So I can focus on planning my scopes and writing blog posts and planning for the day and cleaning my house and investing in my kids. And I'm not having all this stuff swirl around in my head of that company needs me to do that, and that post needs to be fixed, and this and that and the other. Now, the reason that I was able to do this is because I hired an assistant about 2.5 months ago, and I've been training her and letting her be in my inbox and helping her understand how to deal with emails. And she's also posting the deals on my site in the mornings. And so, yes, it took a lot of effort to get to that place. But I found that investing that time and finding that person, it has bought me so much free brain space that it's been amazing. So unplug regularly, whatever that looks like for you, whether that's taking the evening off, taking a day off, taking a week off, or just taking something off your plate that you're wanting to be plugged into that's distracting you from what you should be doing. So number 1, surround yourself with people who ground you. Number 2, get enough sleep. Number 3, take time for you. Number 4, outsource as much as possible. And number 5, unplug regularly. By doing these things, I don't have perfect balance, but I'm able to be in a much healthier place than when I'm just trying to put out fires all day long and constantly stressing myself out and overwhelming myself. I'd love to hear from you. What are you doing to help maintain a healthy work-life balance? What helps you? How do you find that you refresh yourself, that you refuel, that you recharge? What do you give yourself permission to do so that you don't feel completely exhausted? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to learn from you. And as I always say, I go back and I watch the replay so I can read all of your comments because I don't always get to read them all during the scope. And I don't want to miss anything that any of you have to say because I so appreciate each and every one of you. You guys, I just feel like I'm getting to know you so well through your comments, and I'm loving checking out your blogs and your Twitter and your Instagram, and I'm learning so much from you. Get rid of cable TV. Oh, yes, cable, and now it's the internet. It feels like there's so much you can watch on the internet and get distracted by as well. And with Netflix and Amazon, there's just so many options. So shutting some of that down does definitely could allow you to have a healthier work-life balance. Get rid of TV, period. TV can be such a time suck. And one of the things is I don't watch much TV at all. We don't have cable, so that helps, and I don't watch much TV at all. And that frees up a lot of time so that I can spend on other things like watching Periscopes and listening to podcasts and Periscoping and blogging and being with my family and having quiet in my day. So I just encourage you, do what you need to do. Give yourself permission to be able to pour into yourself so that you can pour into others. Because if you just pour, and you don't ever replenish your supply, you're gonna feel completely exhausted. One of the reasons that I wrote my book, Money Making Mom, was really because so many women said, is it possible to find a healthy work-life balance? Is it really possible for a woman to earn a good income and not lose her joy and not neglect her family in the process? And that's why I wrote this book, because I do believe it is possible, but you have to be intentional. You have to put forth effort. You have to, from the get-go, it's really important, set some things in place, set boundaries. And in this book, I talk about time management, and I share what kind of boundaries to set, and I share stories from other women and what has worked for them as well as what has worked for me. So if you're interested and you need some practical advice, go to MoneyMakingMomBook.com and sign up for our free course there. It's right at the top of the page at MoneyMakingMomBook.com. Sign up for our free 5-day course on how I make a full-time income from home. And then also check out the details on my new book, Money Making Mom, how every woman can earn more and make a difference. I think it will really encourage you that it is possible. It is possible. It takes effort and it takes work and it takes intention, but it is possible. So thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget that if you have a question that you would love for me to answer in a future Money Making Mom scope, or even in one of my morning scopes, you can tweet at me. My Twitter is at MoneySavingMom. I'm at MoneySavingMom on Twitter. Or go to MoneySavingMom.com and leave me a question through our contact form. And I am going through all those questions that are submitted and choosing from them for future scopes. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you back tomorrow morning, hopefully around 7:30 a.m. for our morning motivation show. Thanks, and have a great afternoon.